The Golden Globes are known for their sparkle, flashing cameras, glittering gowns, and Hollywood's biggest names under one roof. But this year, it wasn't just the awards or the red carpet that stole the spotlight. It was one unexpected moment that had everyone talking: Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber crossing paths. Their history isn't just another celebrity love story. It's one that millions of fans lived through. Every reunion, every breakup, every tear. For years, their relationship played out under the harshest glare of fame. And now, at one of Hollywood's biggest nights, the past quietly brushed up against the present. Selena arrived as the star of the night, glowing in a pale blue off-the-shoulder gown, her very own Cinderella moment. She was there not only as a double nominee for Amelia Perez and Only Murders in the Building, but also as a newly engaged woman, hand in hand with Benny Blanco. Their appearance together was a milestone, a celebration of love and success. What Selena didn't expect was Justin showing up. The Golden Globes have never really been his scene, and his presence felt like a ghost from the past suddenly walking into her present. She didn't storm off, she didn't flinch. But those who know how to look saw it. The subtle flicker of emotion, the quiet reminder that first loves never fully vanish. Still, this night belonged to her. With Benny by her side, polished in white, the two whispered and laughed as if no one else in the room existed. And unlike her past relationships, this one feels different, grounded, open, unapologetically real. For years, skeptics wondered if Selena and Benny would last. He wasn't the household name her exes were, and some thought he was just a placeholder. But time has proved them wrong. Together, they've built a love rooted in trust and resilience. And that's why Justin's quiet, reserved presence in the same room carried so much weight. Across the carpet, he kept his distance, avoiding attention. To some, he looked uneasy, almost like the boy fans once remembered, swept up in a love story that felt too big for its time. Because let's be honest, Justin and Selena weren't just a couple. They were the couple. Every lyric, every blurry paparazzi photo, every Instagram caption was devoured by fans searching for meaning. Their love was intoxicating but relentless, crushed under the weight of constant scrutiny and the chaos of fame. By 2018, it finally broke. For Selena, that ending nearly shattered her spirit. She's admitted it was one of the hardest periods of her life. And yet, looking back now, she calls it the best thing that ever happened. It forced her to put herself first, to heal, to grow. That journey is why her presence at the Golden Globes felt so powerful. She wasn't standing there as Justin's ex, or the girl forever tied to his story. She was a woman celebrated for her career, honored for her art, and radiant in her love with Benny Blanco. This was not about who she used to be. It was about who she had become. And yet, even when chapters close, first loves linger in memory. Which is why a brief encounter with Justin still felt heavy with meaning. Not because there's unfinished business, but because some connections shape you forever. Then came a twist that sent the internet spiraling. Just days after Selena's engagement went public, Justin unfollowed her on Instagram. A small gesture? Maybe. But in celebrity culture, an unfollow can be louder than a press statement. Why now? Was it about seeing her with Benny at the Globes? Was it her engagement? Or was it simply personal timing? No one knows for sure, but it poured gasoline on an already buzzing fire. That's the paradox of Justin and Selena. Even years later, married and engaged to other people, their names still end up tangled together in a ballroom, on social media, or in the hearts of fans who refuse to forget. Inside the ceremony, Selena remained calm, elegant, and composed. This was her moment. Justin, meanwhile, stayed quiet, almost blending into the background. Just another face in a room where he once would have been half of the biggest headline. Still, those brief, silent glances between them reminded everyone watching. History never fully disappears. Social media exploded instantly. Memes, theories, timelines. Fans dissected every look, every smile, every shift in body language. Some praised Selena for embodying joy and growth. Others speculated about Justin's silence, wondering if it hinted at regret. But the truth is simpler. Emotions are complicated. Closure isn't clean. And under the world's spotlight, nothing ever feels simple. As the night went on, Selena and Benny radiated happiness. They laughed, shared inside jokes, and looked every bit like a couple in sync. Across the room, Justin stayed respectful, distant, carrying his memories, but choosing not to disrupt her present. In the end, this wasn't a scandal. It wasn't a fight. It was a reminder. Selena and Justin are no longer the teenagers whose love story was consumed by the world. They're adults now, carrying their lessons, their scars, and their growth. By the time the night closed, 100 different versions of the story were already spinning online. Some saw lingering tension, others saw closure. But the truth? Selena left that ballroom defined not by her past, but by her present. Engaged, celebrated, confident. Justin left too, walking back into his own life, his own marriage, his own music. But perhaps with the quiet reminder that some connections never really fade. And maybe that's what makes nights like this unforgettable. Beneath the glitter and the gowns, the real story isn't always the trophies. It's the unspoken emotions, the glances, the silences, the reminders of who we were and who we've become. In the days that followed the Golden Globes, the conversation refused to slow down. Headlines weren't just about the winners of the night. They were about that quiet, loaded moment when Selena and Justin existed in the same space again. For Selena, the narrative was clear. She's thriving. She's at the top of her career, her relationship with Benny is solid, and she's embracing her future without hesitation. But the internet always has a way of dragging her back to the past. Clips of her smiling beside Benny were played side by side with old videos of her and Justin, fueling endless comparisons. Fans debated everything from her body language to her choice of jewelry, searching for hidden meanings that probably weren't there. For Justin, the speculation was even louder. His unfollow of Selena became the center of a storm. Some argued it was a sign of discomfort, that seeing her with Benny brought up emotions he didn't want to confront. Others said it was a healthy boundary, a final line drawn to keep the past from interfering with his marriage to Hailey. Whatever the reason, that single click sparked thousands of theories and millions of views. And Benny? His presence at the Globe spoke volumes. Calm, steady, and clearly devoted to Selena, he didn't let the chaos shake him. If anything, the contrast between his grounded energy and Justin's quiet distance made fans see just how different Selena's life looks now compared to the whirlwind of her past. What makes this entire situation so powerful is that it isn't just about three people. It's about what they represent. Selena embodies resilience, the ability to heal, rebuild, and shine brighter than before. Justin represents the complexity of growth in the public eye, a reminder that fame doesn't protect you from mistakes or regrets. And Benny represents the possibility of new beginnings, proof that happiness can come from unexpected places. But one thing remains undeniable. Even when their paths cross silently, Selena and Justin's story will always captivate the world. It's not about rekindling romance. It's about how their past shaped them and how their futures continue to unfold in very different ways. Within hours of the Golden Globes ending, TikTok was flooded with edits, some set to heartbreaking ballads, others to dramatic soundtracks, painting the night as a secret love triangle playing out in real time. One viral clip showed Selena laughing with Benny while the camera panned to Justin in the background, looking down at his phone. The caption read, "He saw what he lost." It racked up millions of views in less than a day. On Twitter, fans were just as divided. Some praised Selena for carrying herself with elegance, pointing out how her glow-up and happiness with Benny were the ultimate closure. Others speculated that Justin's subtle glances meant there were still lingering feelings. One tweet that blew up simply said, "You can delete an Instagram follow, but you can't delete history." And of course, the tabloids ran with it. Headlines screamed things like Selena and Justin's silent standoff, or Benny wins the red carpet battle. Gossip outlets leaned into the narrative of an unspoken tension, even though nothing dramatic actually happened. That's how powerful their history is. Even silence becomes a story. But the internet didn't stop there. Conspiracy-style theories began circulating, with fans analyzing the timing of Justin's unfollow. Some insisted it was triggered by Selena's engagement announcement, saying it was his way of cutting ties once and for all. Others argued it was Hailey's influence, suggesting she didn't want his digital trail linked to Selena during such a public moment. Meanwhile, Benny became the internet's unexpected star of the night. Fans praised him for standing confidently beside Selena, calling him her safe space. Many pointed out how different he seemed from the drama of her past relationships, dubbing him the calm after the storm. What's fascinating is how this moment became less about what actually happened and more about what people wanted to see. Some saw heartbreak, others saw closure. And others saw a love story finally eclipsed by something healthier and stronger. The truth, of course, lies somewhere in the middle. But when it comes to Selena and Justin, the truth has never been simple. While Selena and Justin's quiet interaction dominated headlines, one name inevitably got dragged back into the conversation: Hailey Bieber. Even though she wasn't anywhere near the Golden Globes, her presence was felt online the moment fans began spinning theories. Social media timelines lit up with side-by-side comparisons, some showing Selena glowing with Benny versus older clips of Justin and Hailey looking tense in public. One viral TikTok read, "Different rooms, same ghost," implying that Hailey can never truly escape the shadow of Jelena. Critics were quick to claim that Justin's unfollow of Selena had more to do with Hailey than anything else. The narrative went something like this: Hailey, already tired of endless comparisons, may have pushed Justin to finally sever the last digital tie to Selena. Whether true or not, the story spread fast because it fit into the ongoing triangle fans can't seem to let go of. Meanwhile, Hailey's own social media posts came under a microscope. A few days after the Globes, she shared a cryptic Instagram story with a quote about protecting your peace. It wasn't dramatic, but fans instantly connected it to the Selena-Justin situation. Some praised her for trying to rise above the drama. Others accused her of being passive-aggressive, suggesting it was a veiled shot. This is the bind Hailey always finds herself in. No matter what she posts, no matter what she says, even silence gets read as part of a bigger narrative. She's either the villain, the victim, or the third corner of a love triangle that ended years ago. It's a cycle she can't control, but one that continues to shape her public image. Industry watchers point out that this constant shadow could have real consequences for her brand. Rhode, beauty labels thrive on relatability, positivity, and trust. Yet every time Hailey's name trends, it's tied to drama she didn't start but can't seem to shake. For a businesswoman trying to stand on her own, that's a heavy weight. For Selena, the Golden Globes weren't just another awards show. They became a mirror of how far she had traveled from the girl once defined by heartbreak. Years ago, she was seen mostly through the lens of her relationships. Her music dissected for hidden meanings, her every move compared to Justin's. But this night told a different story. On the carpet, Selena wasn't introduced as someone's ex. She was introduced as a double nominee. Her work in Amelia Perez and Only Murders in the Building showed the world she wasn't just a pop star or a headline. She was an actress, a producer, and a force with staying power. And then there was Benny. Their hand-in-hand walk across the carpet wasn't staged or guarded. It was calm, joyful, and real. For the first time in years, fans saw Selena not as a survivor of a messy breakup, but as a woman in control of her present and proud of her future. Even her look reflected the shift. That pale blue gown wasn't screaming for attention. It was soft, elegant, and timeless, a statement that she doesn't need flash to prove she's arrived. The Cinderella comparison wasn't lost on anyone. For many watching, it felt like the perfect metaphor. She had stepped out of the ashes of old heartbreak and into a life she built for herself. Social media reflected this shift. Yes, some were busy dissecting Justin's presence, but a larger chorus praised Selena for her grace. Hashtags like Cinderella Moment and Selena Glow Up began trending, showing just how much of the narrative had changed. Instead of her past dictating the conversation, her growth was front and center. While Selena basked in her spotlight, Justin's presence told a very different story. He wasn't there to dominate headlines, and he certainly wasn't dressed like the star of the evening. In fact, his arrival felt almost understated, as if he wanted to slip in and out without drawing too much attention. Observers described him as reserved, almost uneasy. He stayed close to his team, avoided cameras when possible, and didn't mingle the way many expected. For someone who once thrived on being the center of every room, it was a noticeable change. Some fans online suggested that Justin's quiet demeanor wasn't just about avoiding drama. It was about what he was witnessing. Seeing Selena walk confidently with Benny by her side, glowing with the kind of peace she once struggled to find, may have stirred emotions he couldn't show publicly. It wasn't jealousy, some argued, but reflection, a reminder of what once was and how far things had shifted. Others pointed out the symbolism. Years ago, Justin and Selena were the Golden Globes fairy tale couple in the eyes of fans. Young, glamorous, untouchable. Now, in the same ballroom, Selena had moved on, embraced love that felt stable, while Justin seemed to be carrying the weight of memories. But here's the thing, Justin didn't cause a scene. He didn't interrupt, he didn't approach. He chose silence. And sometimes silence says more than words ever could. At the end of the night, the Golden Globes weren't just about trophies or red carpet fashion. They became another chapter in a story the world has never stopped following. Selena Gomez, radiant and celebrated, walked out hand in hand with Benny Blanco, her future in clear view. Justin Bieber left quietly, blending back into the noise of Hollywood, but not without sparking whispers of history that refuse to disappear. And maybe that's the real takeaway. Fame fades, relationships change, and people grow. But first loves leave marks that no award show spotlight can erase. Whether it was just two paths crossing or a reminder of how much has changed, one thing is certain. Moments like these remind us that behind the glitter and gold, celebrities are just as human as the rest of us.